Mark Marcel. Listen close because I don't have time to repeat myself. The only thing that matters is that you're listening to 2RAW4TV, your #1 underground radio, source for the only information you'll need. With your host, PALMETTOSTAR, exclusively on blogtalkradio.com, 2RAW4TV. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
This is PALMETTOSTAR, the Ratchet Revolutionary, but you can call me Prophet, host of 2RAW4TV. What you're about to witness is a rare live broadcast of the longest running online conscious radio show, 2RAW4TV. It is important for us to tell our stories and to create our own narrative and celebrate what matters to us. This particular broadcast was shot in Atlanta during the month of Black August. The following footage is 100% raw and real. Special shout out to the Core, melanatedpeople.net, Colored Only Cafe, my guest Aunt T, and of course the studio audience who participated in this epic melanated moment in time. Stay tuned, this is just the beginning. The revolution will not be televised. It's too raw. Without further ado, the brother OSUBUDO, CEO of Melanated People.
The power of Black connection. We need to have the ability to control our own narrative, to be able to tell our own stories. There's an African saying that says, as long as the hunt is victorious, the plain story will never be told. Right? And that is our struggle, that is our story in this America and in this world in general. And so the whole thing about Melanated People is that it gives us a place where we can actually connect, build, and start to heal from some of these things that we've been through. We know we face a lot, and a lot of the times we don't have the adequate resources nor capabilities to actually connect and tell our stories so that we can be understood. And that's something that's very critical within our communities. African Americans, Black people, whatever we want to call ourselves, we've been through a lot. And we're not understood by the outside world, and we're barely understood by each other. On Melanated People, our objective is to start to repair those bridges so that we can heal, so that we can actually push our culture forward. One of the things that we kind of talk about on Melanated People is the fact that we have so much culture within the United States of America alone. And the East Coast is not familiar with the West Coast, the North is not familiar with the South. We have a lot of history that we don't know about, what our people have been through. And Melanated People is that place. And I know, as Palmetto said, that some of us have been through the woes of being blocked and deleted on other social media accounts because our voices was too black and they were too strong. And so this platform gives us a place where we can actually exercise our right as a people, as a collective, in order for the betterment of our own without the interference of other people.
Sure. Alright, so download the app. You guys download the app and get familiar with Melanated People. Now, hey, you guys give it up for O again, man. Give it up for O, you guys. So, without further ado, I want to introduce the president and the creator and the owner of Colored Only Cafe, my friend, my confidant, Courtney Omega.
When I say colored, y'all say only colored. Only colored. Only. When I say colored, y'all say only colored. Only colored. Only. All right. So I don't even like to sit down. I know it's like a throne. I love these chairs. My mom had one. You know, I saw this in like a meme. I guess that's what they call it now. When I was coming up, they didn't call it a meme. They called it a post. But they were saying, if you didn't have this in your household, you aren't black. And I was just like, wait, this is a black thing? I thought this was my mom thing. I thought that was my mom, that's what she did. But thank you again, Brother Palmetto. Thank you again for inviting me to be a part of this. I said it's only right that if anything has the name color, any type of color in its title, I want to be involved. So how you gonna have Black August? Color on the Cafe has got to be there. We've got to be involved. So I thank you all for patronizing. You guys are loving up on us. We have vegan egg rolls. Please continue to come on back to the table. I am so sorry we are just about all out of the Rohvet lemonade. It is my best seller. I cannot keep that. We can't bring enough gallons out here, I promise. I think Palmetto's gotta have like his car just like have some gallon tanks put on the side so we can go riding around the street with them. But at any rate, Brother Palmetto, like he said, we were discussing the real inception of rent, right? Because I don't know about y'all, but how many of us, let's be honest here tonight, you all. This is like an AA, like a, let's just be honest, let's be open, let's be transparent with one another. I'm a therapist in my past life, so y'all already know. But how many of you all have paid rent or are paying rent to live? To live. Everybody. Wow. And you know what? And you know what's so interesting? So I was an elected official in Miami, Florida. I was the youngest elected. I like to say I was chosen, not elected. But I was the youngest elected official on a council of 9 in Coconut Grove, Miami, Florida. And what happened during my first year of my term changed the trajectory of my life. I faced an eviction. I've never been evicted a day in my life. I didn't know of this happening to people. I really thought, only people that get evicted are people that are like, selling drugs out the front, or they're like, it's like brothels. And, I honestly had never seen what an eviction was since Lady Sings the Blues, because she and her mom were evicted, and that's when they went to go live in the brothel. And I was just like, I'm not running no prostitute stuff over here. I don't understand what's happening. But during my first year in office, I started to understand what was happening. What happened was, I was living in the home of the first ever police officer. He and his wife had built this home from ground up. It had only one other resident beside myself in between this family that had built this home. Now, I thought, clearly this is a historically significant venue, right? So me doing my due diligence, Courtney Omega is going to do her law thing because she always wanted to be a lawyer, but she, did not have the time for the LSAT. So she did not, but I was just like, I'm going to get this property declared historical. This community is going to love me for it. Well, no. When I went down to the courthouse to fill out my documents and to get the process started, I was alone. I said, how does someone who had almost nearly 1,000 votes end up alone at the courthouse? Started digging a little deeper, because the people that currently own the house now own 268 other properties. And of those 268 other properties, guess how many were rented by Black people? Yeah. 268. 268. So it started to become very clear to me that if I got this home declared historical, they couldn't rent this home anymore. And you're not going to stop my money. So what they did was put out words to other people not to support, or if they threatened, well, not threatened, maybe verbally, but they encouraged them that if they start losing properties, they were going to have to find other ways to pay for the properties that they still had, which would mean what? Rent goes up. So what do we do with this information? I said to myself at that point in time, that was going to be the last time I ever rented anything. And I have held true to that. And it has not been easy. My babies are there. in and said, what kind of movement or campaign can we create so that rent is looked at as dirty? Because how did we get to such a situation where we just accept this? That we even, and I love what Brother Palmetto said, they went from being slave masters to landlords. I said, you know, that's so funny you should say that, Palmetto, because Palmetto and I have known each other for about 9 years. And I said, something came over me when I lost my property. I said, I've never referred to another property manager as a landlord again. Because I said, you know, you ain't no lord of my land. What does that even mean? Like, you know, I'm not even paying attention to that. But when he put that together, I was like, that's so true. But I said, where is a space here in America that Black people should be able to live free? Now, the first thing people would say, depending on the crowd, y'all can go stay free in the projects. And I'm like, first of all, it ain't free. It'd be like $40, but it's not free. But secondly, no, I said, why don't we go to some place that we built? Because governments build projects, we all know this. Plantations. We literally built these plantations. If there is any place that we should be able to go for free and live for free, that's your reparations right there. Plantations are reparations. So what I started to do, I have a sister that lives in Austell, Georgia, and she was the recipient of the 2020 Oprah Winfrey Grant for her family support organization that she has called We Thrive on the Drive. I started crunching we started crunching some numbers, and I started going to her meetings over there. So we started talking to some commissioners. We started talking to some council members. And what do they all say? Well, we would love to help you guys find some place, but where's the land? Are you kidding me? I'm doing all the work. I gotta find the land too. So that's what I did. I started looking for plantations. I started looking for plantations that were empty, plantations that were for sale, plantations that were on historical preservation dockets, right? And I found a beautiful property right in Athens, Georgia, about an hour and 40 minutes out of here. And I started a mission to own this property. So right now, I am almost about $10,000 raised of what is needed, which is $799,000, which I think is absurd, because here you are sitting on property that rightfully our ancestors have worked, but you can tell me, hey, I would love to come down on the price for you, but I've got to pay bills too. The audacity. But at any rate, where we are now is further than we've ever been. This property, not only has it never been owned by any African American or descendant of ancestors, but it has also never held a family, because the person that instructed the property to be built, we know we built it, but the person that instructed the property to be built, he was a known bachelor, which we know that to mean he was a homosexual. And he used this venue to buck break our brothers. And this went on, but they can write, as brother just said, until lions learn how to write, the tales of victory will always go to the predator. It'll always go to the hunters. So they have this gentleman, James Smith, listed as a bachelor, politician, and a self-made millionaire. But what we know him to be is a sadistic operator of buck-breaking nefarious activities. We're gonna call it what it is. So I encourage all of you, don't just, come away from this and say, sister, that's a great idea. Share what I'm doing, because it's not just about me getting on this property. There are 12.5 acres there. So plenty of space for us to collectively build. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how we turn plantations into villages. Thank you.
People want to know exactly what you're doing. Give it up for Auntie. She's not your grandma, she's your auntie. Give it up for Auntie. Where can people find you at online and in the streets?
just turned a year older today. You ain't gonna find me in the street. I come knock on the door and I'm in the bed. But on IG, it's UNK_by_nature. On Facebook, it's CASHAPP.
Okay, so you guys give it up for Auntie. Yeah! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
About my bare feet. The spirit is high in the room. Anywhere where I feel the spirit and the energy, I like to ground myself.
Alright.
So I'll take my shoes off. I'll take my shoes off. Even though it's concrete, somebody don't walk this platform that was spiritually powerful. So I want that energy. So I just bare my feet where I go. And I feel it.
How that whole thing went about.
Happy birthday.
Yes, it's her birthday, y'all. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
There you go.
So yeah, so Auntie, I like that, and I liked how you sort of like brought that out there, because you were like, I'm not your grandma, I'm your auntie. And I thought it was so dope, and I was like, what? So what's the story behind the name Auntie?
The story behind the name Auntie, when I initially started, I would say familiarizing myself with my spirituality, I would see different people having different names that wasn't their governed name, so I'm like, I want one. I want one too. So understanding the meaning of Ankh, being everlasting life, my governed name is Tamika, so that's what the Ankh stand for. Sishat is the Egyptian goddess of literature, writing. She's a project starter, and that pretty much describes who I am. Of course, I like to write, so I adapted to Sishat. So Auntie Sishat is where I get that name. That's where it's derived from.
So she definitely does her thing. She's not only an author, but she does write screenplays as well. So you have 2 books here, and so I want you to talk about these books and show people on PalmettoStar.net these books, and just can you talk about them and let people know about these books? They look they're beautiful books as well. They are very beautiful, very well bound.
Yes. Well, this is a 2-part series. This book is about our good-looking brothers. Some of you all have a hard time when
You made a book about me?
Yeah, I made a book about you. It's all about you. But it's about a brother who's going through the struggle of, he can have any woman he wants, but in the back of his mind, that's not what he wants. For real. So I'm a female, but I wrote this from a male perspective. Simply because as a sister, we have to uplift our brothers in whatever way. And so I use art and my gift of writing as a way to bring out a art form to uplift our brothers. So like I said, this book is about his struggle to maintain his sexual drive, kind of thing. So part 1 is about how I call it my horror book. So this is his horror phase, pretty much.
Okay, you mean horror like HORROR or horror like WHOR?
Like WHOR. Yeah, like that one. So, and this is, it's titled Living for the Weekend, WEAK. And I like using wordplay because it can mean so many other things other than what we literally take it as.
Yeah.
So, if the Bible can do it, I can do it too. So, Living for the Weekend, the story actually happened over a weekend. So, from that Friday to that Sunday, he dipped and played, he did all of this stuff. But by that Sunday evening, he found out some stuff that's gonna leave him, am I gonna live or am I gonna die? Kind of thing.
Wow.
So it's a cliffhanger to this book, and that's why I came in and made a second one. And it's called More Than I Can Take. So EYE. Not only does he see a lot, he hears a lot, and he sees a lot. So More Than I Can Take. This is his redemption phase. So you gotta read part 1, which is Living for the Weekend, then going into More Than I Can Take. And based off both these books, I've written a stage play. Because I love the name Living for the Weekend, I was like, I'm gonna take that name and we're gonna and run with it. So this is a 34-page script with 15 characters in the story. Awesome story. A lot of people wondering how in the heck she's gonna bring that to the stage. Well, hopefully by the fall, I'm hoping to bring it out there. I got my cast. You know, I'm a couple of people short, just 2 people short.
Just 2 people short?
I'm 2 people. Actually, the main character is, you know, the Carlos Jones. He actually got a job offer in another state and had to leave me for 4 months. I plan on bringing this play to the fall, so it left me looking for another replacement. And the character Travis, which is, you know, the gym rat kind of thing. So that's what I'm looking for to complete the stage play. But most definitely, everybody is amped about it. We getting sponsorship from Dreamhouse Studios. That's where we're doing our rehearsals and everything, just to prep for everything. So, hey, we're bringing it live.
All right. So, at 11:30, I will be asking a Black August themed question so that you guys can win a print. Whoever answers the question right will win a print from the artist Raw. So you guys, get to be that. And no Google. I know you guys got the no Google and no, we're not doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? Not doing any of that. So at 11:30 we will be doing that. So how you have something called the ANKH experience, and I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
And you were describing it. You said you would tell me more on the interview, and I was like, I want no more. So what is the ANKH experience?
The ANKH experience, I have a couple of definitions to explain that. When you first became into your spirituality, it was an experience. You know, speaking for myself and a lot of other people that I talked to, they wanted to fight. It was a struggle denying everything that you went through, but that was an ANKH experience that you went through. And I adapted that feeling and created an organization. So what the ANKH experience is, as far as the organization, it's broken up into 4 different sectors. One being the entertainment by art. I'm very artsy, and a lot of people that I communicate with are arts people. From poetry to the acting to what have you, art, drawing. But entertainment by art, of course, it goes with me, is the books, the stage play. That's my art side. So the other one is the community involvement. As a community, just to piggyback on what Susan said here about the rent and the land, when it comes to the community involvement, everything triggered back to coming up as a kid. We have to train our kids in the mind as a little one. So in the community, if there's a mechanic over here, a barber over here, or a seamstress over here, we can have workshops that could trigger the mind of the little ones. To teach them how to grow agriculture or sew a dress or what have you, because when we get on this land, we're going to have to barter to help each other, right? Everybody's skill set is going to have to be intertwined so that we can help each other. So it's going to start now with the community involvement. That's one sector. And we have volunteering services. Of course, when we have volunteer services, you think of United Way and all of these programs that are really not helping you. But you can come here one day and somebody may have something going on or whatever. Reaching out to the ANKH experience will be a resource. Saying, hey, I need some volunteer help to come and paint this wall or what have you or whatever we may be doing. So it'll be like a resource for volunteering in the Black community. Street teams is getting together and taking trips. So I had a trip scheduled September the 11th. We're going down to the Legacy Museum in Montgomery, Alabama. And of course they got the whole slave movement and they got the monuments and what have you. I haven't been yet. Have any of y'all been yet? Nobody? Nobody? Okay.
One in Washington?
No. In Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't been there, but okay, yes, I've heard of that.
Yes, Yeah, so I heard it was more to it than what I know about the monument and the museum itself. So taking a trip down there, we are the type of people, we have to see it, we have to put our hands on it to believe that it really happened. I would be so whitewashed about what happened in the books and the curriculum that we're being taught. But to go down there and see it, and it just opened up my mind. So my general idea, my target audience anyways, is the youth. If I can get a boat full of young black boys specifically, just to look at what happened and trigger their mind, we will come back and we're going to be ready to go to Athens and get this land. So it all starts right here. And that's what the ANKH experience is all about.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So you guys had heard of ANKH experience. And I want to encourage everybody, this is a free event. But I do encourage everybody to help aid in the humanitarian efforts that we are doing. You can do so via CASHAPP, $PalmettoStar. That's $PALMETTOSTAR. Go ahead and, we are creating that black heaven here on earth. So, now I love what you're doing, and I don't want to. Okay. But today is your birthday.
Absolutely.
So, how are you feeling right now?
I feel good. I'm a little sleepy because I usually be in the bed, but for you, I'm gonna take a nap early so I can go down. Yeah, but I feel good, so I feel good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's awesome. And that's what's up. What advice do you have for new writers?
New writers. Research everything, because when people are reading your story, a lot of stuff are hidden in books. We know that.
Yes.
So if you're gonna write, I don't care if it's a fictional, put some facts in there. Do a lot of research and write the story in detail. Make people feel like they're there. Be as descriptive as possible. I could write one paragraph describing what this phone looks like. Write an essay, I say, because I'm very descriptive. So get in deep details when it comes to writing. And then research. Put some power messages in there.
Alright. So I want to do this because we have the artist Raw here. If you don't mind, come up, brother. I know he doesn't like to be in the forefront, but I'm sorry, I'm putting him on blast. You know what I'm saying? We got to give it up to artist Raw. You can just come right here, because I can see on the melanated people there. So he got several prints here. If you mind if you show some of them on the melanated. But yeah, and you guys will be winning one of these prints. I'm gonna be asking.
Sorry, I got a couple.
They can't see you. Okay, they can see you now. Yeah. So I actually have one of his prints in my office. Very, very good artist. You know what I'm saying? Great artist. Definitely does his thing. You know what I'm saying? My organizers of Black August ATL come up. Mikey Pow, Chief Ty. You guys, and I just love bringing stuff like this and bringing awareness to Black August. You know what I'm saying? Because it really is a Black supremacy celebration, a commemoration of our most courageous ancestors, that are boots on the ground, that are, they're behind the walls right now. So these people that we're talking about, they're still living. They're actually still living and paying the price for our freedom, for us being here right now, for us congregating right now. They are still paying the price in blood. Yeah. They are still paying that price. So we are commemorating them today. I just want to have my other organizers, my fellow organizers, say something about Black August and how it's affected them, and then we could go outside and do that, and we could, the fireworks ceremony for the ancestors, but
I'm gonna be real quick. During this whole experience, even trying to promote this thing, Facebook and IG, TikTok has been shutting it down. Every time I put a video up, they just shut it down. If I put Black August, I'm coding it. They close my account.
Racist. TikTok is so
Yeah. It closed my account like 8 times. That's why it's so important to have like platforms like Melanated People, so we can have our own voice. But I'm enjoying it as a creative, as a storyteller. Excuse me. It's just so amazing. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah, Black August been off the chain for me. It's been challenging because doing it fast, and that's another thing. Like doing Black August is like a fast. That's the self-sacrifice part. Doing a day is like sun up, sun down. It's like Ramadan, y'all, for me. But you can drink water in between water or teas and things like that, liquid. But that's the challenge. But other than that, as far as the training, the martial arts, me rebelling against this parasitic system, it's a better month to turn it up. You know, for those of us that do that on the regular. It's a great time to do that and to not forget about the shoulders that we stand on. Because, like they said, a lot of these brothers is still living. Y'all thinking they dead, but nah, bro. And anybody that done went through anything, you done been just in the county jail, you an original man. You already know how it is. So if you stand up for your people, I mean, it's more torture. So, shout out to all the brothers, still going through what they're going through. Really, every original man is a political prisoner, just like George Jackson said. But it's those people who really stood up for, stand up and stood up for our people. So that needs to be saluted. But for all the brothers and sisters, trust me, like if y'all missed it this year, incorporate that next year, man, because it's gonna continue to be fire. It's gonna turn up whatever you're doing.
under this flag. So, in the spirit of our ancestors, in the spirit of Black August, in the spirit of the ancestors known and unknown, we commemorate you and we release fire to the heavens. Just like you have released fire for us and for us to be free. So we release fire for you. So this is for you, ancestors known and unknown.
Dragon George Jackson.